Catfish people, what's up? Hey, coming to you from the comforts of the home, y'all. Figured, hey, been getting a few requests on me tying my rigs and stuff, and the ones that I've been using, the Carolina rig, the Santee rig, and the Rattle rig. So, hey, let's get to it, y'all. Let's tie y'all something up. Show y'all how I do it. The way I do it may be right, may be wrong. I don't know. It's the way I was taught. So, as y'all know, I use Zepco 50-pound tests. It's under $2 at Walmart. That's what I use my leader line, y'all. Unless I find something on sale a whole lot cheaper, that's what I use. So, I'm going to pull me off about 13, 14 inches of the line here. I am a little wasteful when I'm making my leader lines, and the reason being is because the longer it is when I'm trying to tie, the more line I got, the easier it is for me to tie up, and then I can shorten it down when I'm going into working with my swivel part. Now, what I got here is a 8/0, no, excuse me, this is an 8/0 Charlie Brown circle hook, octopus circle hook. So, when you're tying circle hooks, always remember this, and I will get into it and show you why when it is done being tied. You want to go in through the back of the eye. So slide it in through the back and pull that down like so. Now, what you're going to do is if you have a slit, get the camera here so I got light. If you've got a slit in your hook right here, don't wrap it this way to the slit because it can pull, rub, and cut. You want to wrap to the opposite side. So start your wrap down and just wrap it down about, I don't know, 10 to 15 times. Just wrap it down real pretty like so. Twist it down on there. Then what you'll do is you'll take your line and you'll run it back through the front here of the eye. It don't cinch it down yet. Get it wet and then pull it down. Grab your little tag. I don't suggest using your teeth for anything. I do. But hey, not a good practice to get into if you don't do it. I'm sure your dentist wouldn't be happy. Now, that's the way to look when it's done. Now you snared. It's a no knot snare, y'all. Okay, now what you'll do is you'll come up however long you want to make your leader. Like I said, I cut off about 14, 15 inches right here, I would say. So we're going to make one about 12 inches long. So I'll bring it up and I'll pinch it like that. I grab my swivel, I run it through the eye of my swivel like so. And I got this on this side, then on this side. Now I'm going to tie a polymer knot, y'all. So I'll go around like so, through the loop like so. Grab my swivel, push my swivel down through that loop, and it will look like this. You want to start cinching it down. Now you want to get it wet so that your line doesn't get hot and burn. You'll put a weak spot in your line. So you get it pulled down. Get it cinched down real good. Take and cut off the excess. And I don't cut it all the way down to the knot. I leave just a little bit. I'm having a problem with my lights, y'all. Need to give me a ring light, I reckon. Cut it down about right so. A little band-aid off my finger. A lot of fishing. A lot of battle wounds, y'all. Alright, now what we have here is a simple Carolina rig with a circle hook. Now what I'll do is I've got a rod right here. Oh, let me grab this rod that has a Carolina rig with a plate weight on it. Give y'all what it looks like. Here's the rig. It's a simple Carolina rig, y'all. So now what I'll do, this is my line going to my reel. I'll slide on my plate weight, or egg weight, whichever one, or use a sinker slide. These clip sinker slides. Let me get one of these off here. I'm gonna need one in a minute anyway. These things are tough. And I keep all my stuff on pins, so that if it tips over my tackle box, I ain't gotta worry about picking them all up. I just pick this up. So, or you use a sinker slide. You would slide your line through that hole right there, and then you would clip your weight on your river weight or bank weight or whatever weight that you're using that's got an eye on it. You would use this. Okay, so you slide your weight on, and you slide your bead, your bumper bead, whatever kind you're using. I'm using a mixture of plastic and silicone. They say the silicone ones help protect your knot a lot better, so I've been trying those. I hadn't seen much of a difference yet, but I'm sure that probably does. It makes sense. These are softer, wouldn't tear up a knot as much as the plastic ones would, especially if you fish in the river where you're getting a lot of bang on your weight. And the reason why you use the bumper bead, for y'all that don't know, is when you tie onto your swivel, okay, what this weight does is this line is pulling, and this weight is banging up against that knot. Eventually it's going to weaken that knot, make that knot break, and cause you to lose a fish. So if you put that bumper bead on there, when that weight's slamming up against that knot, it's now I've got a piece of silicone pumping up against my knot, which will save it and protect my knot a lot more. Alright, now what I do here is I take my leader, it's Carolina rig, simple Carolina rig, and I will polymer knot it on. So using the same knot that I used right here, I will use again right here. I will polymer knot it onto this end. So I've slid my weight on, I've slid my bumper bead on, now I'll run my line through here and I'll tie a polymer knot, and that is a basic Carolina rig. And like I said, you can use this is a river no roll weight, and you can use a mixture. Let me get you some more weights here. You know, here's a plate weight with an eye used for the river, and what these do are, when you're using these for the river, they will lay down flat on the bottom and will keep your bait, your line, from moving. So like if I was to use an egg weight and it's laying in current, it's going to roll this way, cause more tangle up. These are to prevent you from getting more tangle up. They'll lay flat and allow everything to just run right over them, and when you pull on them through, it's supposed to prevent you from getting more tangle up. Let me get you a bank weight out here. Now here's an egg weight. I normally use my egg weights where I don't have current. Lakes, ponds, rivers that don't have current. Primarily I only use these in the lakes and the reservoirs and ponds. Now these are bank weights, and you hook the eye, slide onto these just like you do the river weight, plate weight. These are designed also, you don't want to use these in the river because they'll roll. So you want to use these in bodies of water where you have no movement. So your lakes, your reservoirs, things like that. You can use them in rivers, just you don't want movement. If you've got movement in the water, this thing's going to roll and going to cause you to get tangled up. Same way with the egg weight. Not saying that you can't use them. If it's all you got, it's all you got, and that's what you're going to use. You're going to catch fish. It's not going to not keep you from catching fish. What it's going to do is just going to cause you to lose a few more rigs. Now, we won't go through all of the kind of all the rigs, because all of them start from this right here. The three rigs that I'm showing you, they start from this. The Carolina rig, it is the heart of the other two rigs. So now, to make a Santee rig, before you tie your swivel on, when you just got your hook, you can run a no slit peg. This has no slits in it. So you would just run your line through there and peg it on both ends. Okay? and I have one. Or you can use what you call a slitted. They got so many variations of these. They got them round. They got cigar peg floats. You know, you can get them on Amazon, most all bait and tackle shops, and you can improvise. You can get the crappy ones that have the weighted pieces on them, and you can clip all that off, and you got a peg float. You just got to get you something to stick down in there. Now the slotted ones, they're not as durable as the solids, but you can add these or take them off as you want. You can just slide your line down through that slit and peg it on both ends. And if you're fishing somewhere that you feel like you don't need it, you just unpeg it and take it off. Now that is good, but these are not quite as durable as the solid ones. So what I do is I'll make up my Carolina rigs, and I'll make up a few Santee rigs, and I'll take me some peg floats with the slits in them with me. So if I'm getting hits and bites on my Santee rigs, then I may take the ones that I have in the water with Carolina rigs on them. If Santee's what's catching fish, I'll throw some pegs on there that have a slit in them, and I'll throw all those out there. So it gives you more options in the water. Now, let me got a rod here that's it has a Santee rig on it, ready to go, with a sinker slide clip on it. Get this hook off here. Oh, and knock the phone. As y'all know, I do all my filming off of a Stylo $600 cell phone, y'all. Yeah, nothing, no high-tech gear here. Alright, y'all. So here's what one looks like that's not a slit. This is just a regular cigar peg float. Okay? There's your hook. It's nailed on. Peg float slid on. Polymer knotted to your swivel. Polymer knotted to your line. Alright? Same as before. Get this here in my hands. There we go. Same as before, y'all. So I've got my leader line here. It has a Santee rig on it. Trying to get it all in the camera. And it's tied the exact same way as the Carolina rig. All I've done is I've added a float, which turned it into a Santee rig. And you can make your leader line as long as you want to. And we'll get into why the Santee rig is a very efficient rig. Now, I will take, here's your sinker slide. This is what I was just telling you about sinker slides. Let me get a, what it is this is a river plate weight. You can use your bank weights also. Anything that's got an eye on it, you slide it through, clip it on. Now I've got a 4-ounce river weight. Now if I needed more weight, I could open this up and add another one to it and throw 2. So I'm running 4 ounces. I can add another 4 to it. Now I'm running 8. Or I can take this off. If this is 4 is too much, I can take it off and go down to a 3 or 2 or whatever. Same way with the bank weight. You put them on the exact same way. Alright. Now what that does is your weight has your line on the bottom. Let me adjust this here some. We're going to use a table as a river. And the table is a riverbed. So your weight is down, holding this down. The Carolina rig is going to lay flat. It's going to float up a little bit with your bait on it, and if you're using live bait, it's going to swim up. But with the Santee rig, if you want to present your bait into the water column more, to put your scent and the oils and everything that's coming off your bait up into the water column more, and not flat in the muck. The Santee rig, what it does is the float will pull and will lift that bait up while the weight holds it, your line down, keeps it from moving. The float raises your bait up off the bottom and puts your bait now into the water column. So now it puts it's dispensing your scent more. I use this in still water and I use this in current water. I don't know what is right or wrong. I catch fish both ways. If one rig I'm using is not being productive, I switch and go to another rig. And I keep switching rigs till I find the one that works and is being productive, and then that's what I start throwing baits on. I normally will cast out, you know, multiple rods. I'll cast out a couple of rods of Carolina rigs, a couple with Santee rigs, and a couple with the Rattle rigs. What I start taking hits on, or what I start catching fish on, that's what I'll start graduating my other rods to that, if that is what's being productive in reeling in fish. So I don't know if there's a right place or a wrong place to use each one of these rigs. All I know is that if the one rig I'm using is not working, I switch and go to another one. Same way with baits. If one bait I'm using is not working, I switch and go to something else. So there is your basic Santee rig. Now, let's get this one hooked up. And let's get this other one out over here. And here's one that's already got a weight on it. So, as y'all have seen in some of my previous videos, I've actually started being somewhat productive with these rigs right here. Here's a yellow one I've got made up. Now what this is it starts out as a Carolina rig, then I add my beads to it, and what I've watched and everything I've been taught off of YouTube and all the guys that use these and are productive with these, I see guys putting the rattles on this side of the float, I see guys putting the rattles on this side of the float. These are called versatile rattles, and they also make a with the spooks, you know, for bass fishing. It's got the beads in them. It's all different kinds of company that make those. It's a float plus a rattler. Demon Deacon, I think, is one of the most popular ones. Now, what I've learned is and been taught that if I use it on this side of the hook and put the beads here, it helps keep the fish, when it goes to grab a hold to it, up off the rattlers maybe, and causing me to miss a hit. So I just doctor it up. I don't guess it's the right way or wrong way. What this does is when this is flat, it's lifted up into the water column like a Santee rig. Now these things start moving, and they're putting action in the water. I've got a dead bluegill. I got a cut piece of bluegill head on this thing now. Now that bluegill head it's flapping around in the water on this float, and now these rattlers are moving. It's putting action in the water, and it's making my bait appear to be more live. It makes a lot of sense to me. Here's another one. This is on a black peg float. Same way. They make all different colors, all different sizes. This is what I've been having my most luck in production off of, is orange. From the research I've done, catfish are attracted to more brighter colors. I guess this appears to look like blood to them. I don't know. I haven't had any luck with the yellows. I haven't had any luck with the blacks. All the luck I've had has been off of orange. Orange rattlers, orange beads, orange float. This is what I've been catching everything off of. This exact setup right here. If I've been using a rattler and I've been catching fish on a rattler, this is what it's been being on. Now I'll show it to you hooked up. Now this one I was productive off of. This is the rattler I used, and it had the yellow. It did have yellow beads on it, but this is the one that brought all the fish in here. Last video that I made was this precise rig right here. No, excuse me, it was not. When I fished in the hurricane storm, this is what brought the fish in, was this rig right here, not the last video I just made a couple of videos ago. So there's the rig. It's a rattler rig. Your swivel, bumper bead, and weight. I hope this video helped y'all understand a little bit about the rigs. Now we will show you here about the circle hooks. Remember when I was talking about the importance of going through the back and coming back through the front? Reason being is, imagine my hand here as a catfish's mouth. Okay, now a circle hook compared to a J hook. J hook, when they go down, you got to pull to set. It's an old-timey way of fishing. I still use some J hooks sometimes, but J hooks, if the catfish swallows the J hook, it will puncture its stomach, and y'all know what happens then. Fish is going to die, or throat puncture, whatever you want to call it. Fish going to die. Circle hooks are designed for the fish to not swallow the hook, which helps prevent killing the fish. So this is a catfish's mouth, this is a hook. When it comes down to grab the hook, okay, and you go to pull, so here's the bait, here's the mouth. I'm trying to do it this way you can see it better. So he comes down, he clamps down on his bait. Now, when you go to set and pull, or not set, or just pick up and pull, or he goes to swim off, what you've done is you've tied it through the back side. And what that will do is when your line, it puts resistance on your line, it's going to pull that hook right into its mouth and set the hook. It sets it. It presets itself. If you snare it the other way, when you go to pull the hook, what you're going to do is you're going to pull it out of the fish's mouth and away. It won't get to pull on it. So that's the reason why you go through the back of a circle hook. Always go through the back, twist it around, and come back through the front. So that when the fish grabs a hold to it and you go to pull, or it goes to pull, the resistance will automatically pull the hook and set its mouth. Hey, happy fishing, y'all. I hope this video helps you. If you like this one, I'll have a lot more coming out. More DIYs, more gear tips, more bank spots, more GPS. Yes, I tell y'all where I fish. I want you to go catch a fish that I catch. Put you right in my footprints. Hey, y'all know how it is. Brotherhood when it comes to me, when it comes to fishing, y'all. Also remember, spawning season, y'all. I can't preach that enough. Throw them big boys back so we can have more big boys swimming in the rivers and the lakes. Hey, hats off to all y'all. Happy fishing. Stay safe. God bless. If you like this, hit the little bell. Get a notification when you get another one. Happy fishing, y'all. Thank you for the likes, subscribes, and follows.